Hey everyone, and welcome to the Parent in the Loop podcast. I'm your host, Julie Kelleher, a working mom of two, education technology leader, AI enthusiast, and founder of likeamother.ai. This podcast is all about real parents sharing real stories of how they're partnering with AI in their family life. These conversations show what it looks like when parents stay informed and intentional about AI, which is what Parent in the Loop is all about. Today, I'm super excited to share that I'm joined by Ruqaiya Shipchandler Akbari, founder of ammi.ai, and she's going to share how she partners with AI for meal planning. Ruqaiya, thank you so much for being here. Before we get
Oh my
started,
gosh. Thank you for having me.
yeah, um, before we get started, could you please share a little bit about yourself, a little bit about ammi.ai, and what inspired you to carve out this path?
Of course. Yeah, like I said, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor and always a pleasure to do literally anything with you because you're the best. My company is called ammi.ai, and I'm on a mission to bring moms into the AI conversation, specifically via AI literacy, which is understanding what AI is, how it works, and the risks and benefits of AI, and how to collaborate with AI ethically, effectively, and enjoyably. And the reason that I carved this path for myself is because I worked in the AI software industry for the better part of a decade. And toward the end of my time in my corporate roles, I was in a market role where I had to see what was going on in the AI market, and ChatGPT launched. And for the first time, I thought this technology isn't just going to impact people in the corporate world, it's going to impact everyone, and most of all, it's going to impact the future generations. This is a technology that's gonna basically coexist with our kids. So we have a big stake in making sure that it's a healthy coexistence. And I think moms are the best stewards of safety and security when it comes to children and our kids. So that's why I think teaching moms about AI, the good and the bad, is a really important investment in our future.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And just for anybody who's listening, so we actually met because we found each other on Instagram. And so, this is I started on a similar path. I work in education technology. I'm a mom and I live and work at this intersection of education, parenting, and technology. And I saw a need as well to really kind of help bridge AI literacy and then ways that AI can introduce a lot of possibilities for families. And so we literally found each other on Instagram. I think she reached out to me on LinkedIn first. And so this is just a great lesson in, when you find somebody that you connect with, reach out because great things can happen. So speaking of great things, today we are going to have Ruqaiya show us, so really like show and tell format, show us how she partners with AI for meal planning.
Yes, so I'm excited to share this because I think through my work with MEAI and just talking to moms, like meal planning is something that takes a big chunk of our mental load, whether it's on a daily basis or a weekly basis. And one of the goods of AI, because of course it's multifaceted, but one of the good aspects of AI is because it's great at processing information, breaking things down, mapping things out. It's really great for meal planning. And so today I wanted to share a few ways and a few tools that I use for meal planning. And it's kind of like a crawl, walk, run, wherever you are in your AI journey. Hopefully, this could give you some inspiration of how you can use it to make your life easier. So I'll go ahead and share my screen. Oops.
Great. I cannot wait. And I love the framing of crawl, walk, run because everybody's in a different, phase of their AI exploration journey. And so, there are many, many points of entry. So I can't wait to see it.
Absolutely. We're starting here at ChatGPT for our crawl. ChatGPT is pretty pervasive. Julie, I know you're a big fan of ChatGPT. Would you say you're a power user?
I mean, I go between ChatGPT, Claude, and Perplexity. I have,
Nice.
I've got concerns concerns with all of them, but I would say ChatGPT is where I started, and I definitely go back to it quite often.
Right. Yeah. Same here. I think it's a good starting point for folks who haven't delved into AI yet. And the way I like to use ChatGPT or any AI tool is I instruct it. It's called prompting, and I instruct it using the voice to text feature. So I don't have to type. I'm super lazy. I don't like to type. So I use this little dictate button. And usually I have it on my phone. So I'll be in my kitchen and I have to like cook something for the night. And it's a night where I clearly haven't meal planned. So I'll give you a very real example. On Sunday night, I had 6 chicken thighs that I had thawed, and I was like, okay, I want to come up with a few marinations so I can marinate a few of these and have them ready to go for the week ahead. And so a prompt I'd use is something like, hey, give me 20 chicken thigh marination combinations across different cuisines around the world. Just give me the actual like ingredients of each marination. So a list of the marinations, the ingredients of each marination that would be suitable for chicken thighs. That would be kid friendly, so nothing spicy. And so always voice to text. And this is the idea here is like instead of anytime I would like mull over something, like I'm sitting in the kitchen, I'm mulling over, okay, or I would go in my phone and like search things and be on my phone for 30 minutes looking up like chicken thigh recipes. Instead of mulling over, I quickly go to ChatGPT and see if I can get a quick list, quick ideas. So quick ideas is a really great way to use ChatGPT, especially when it comes to meal planning. So I got literally 20 global chicken thigh marinades. I ended up making a Lebanese one and the Japanese one we had yesterday for lunch. And so other examples would be, here's what's in my pantry. I have this, and this. What can I make with it? A lot of times I'll say like I have some ground beef, I have some lasagna pasta, I have some mushrooms, and I have some basil. Like give me a recipe to go with this. And sometimes I won't even take the recipe that ChatGPT gives me. I'll take the title of the recipe and then I'll go to Perplexity, search that title, and look for like the best blogger or whatever to get that recipe. Because sometimes ChatGPT just gives you kind of like the basic standard version. So then you can take that, go to another AI tool, or you could just go to Google or YouTube, search the name of that recipe, and then find the one that really speaks to you. Sometimes like a collaboration. Yeah, so that's some of my crawl options is ask for lists of ideas, put in your ingredients that you have and ask for some recipe ideas. And another great one that our friend Sarah Dooley of AI Empowered Mom, I remember she had this series on her Instagram where she had bought like way too much fennel. I think it was fennel or it was iceberg lettuce or something, cabbage. And she just kept using ChatGPT to be like, how can I use this up? Like, how to give me like a bunch of recipes to use this up. So if you have a big quantity of a food and you just want to figure out how to use it up, not waste any of it, ChatGPT is great for that as well. So some great crawl ideas. I don't know if you have any others that you would throw in there.
That's a great idea. I mean, I do love to take a picture of a fridge or and a pantry and ask for ideas too. That's a great crawl. But I think I just want to kind of recap a couple things that I loved that you mentioned. So asking for global recipes, what a fun idea, right? And then and you could even tie that to like what kids are learning about in school if they're taking a geography class or something. I love that, and also the parameters, right? Like not spicy, or they really only like foods that are super bland. And then I really love the advice of like anytime you kind of catch yourself mulling over something, then that's a good indicator of potentially using AI for it. Of course, it needs to be not something that's like super sensitive or has private information in it. But if you catch yourself kind of like spinning cycles in your head around, how am I going to do this thing? Sometimes you just need that little boost of an idea that AI can help you with.
Yeah, yeah. And it all kind of and I like to compare the mulling and the stewing versus the marinating. So like mulling and stewing are a type of thinking like that's really tedious and that I might relegate to AI. But marinating is a great type of thinking because you're like, your brain is really coming up with a good idea and really amplifying it or enhancing it or enriching it with time. And so speaking of marinades, like those are the two ways I like to think about my own thinking and where I will like port it over to AI when it's like a mulling and a stewing versus when it's marinating. We want to keep it in my own brain
Oh my
doing that
goodness. I
work.
love this too, because also the timing. This is the week of the Thanksgiving in the US, and so there's just a lot of cooking on the mind. So
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it.
The brining we want to give to AI. I
Yeah.
I don't want a salty brain. Um, After you've kind of gotten comfortable with crawling, walking with ChatGPT, you're comfortable asking for some recipes or asking for ideas, then going to automation would be kind of the run. And it's called building AI agents, but I think sometimes that word is like overly hyped. It's really just combining AI, the power of AI, doing things like this with automation. So having it maybe on a recurring schedule or triggered by something. And you can even have the AI do tasks for you autonomously, kind of like a self-driving computer. And so I built a meal planning agent where on the weekends, at 9 a.m. on a Sunday, I get an email that's like, let's plan the meals for the week. And I will respond that here, this is what I want. Maybe I have a guest coming over on a particular day, so I need a bigger meal, or I don't need a meal for a particular day because we're eating out that day, or we've been invited somewhere. And the agent then extracts all the information from my instructions, and then it does a little search. It searches my personal recipes that, maybe I've compiled through my mom, my grandma, my sisters. And then it does a YouTube recipe search, and then it does a Google search of recipes, and then it compiles a comprehensive meal plan based, I've given it some instructions, and then it sends me an email back with the meal plan it's generated. So what that looks like in practice is I'll get an email that looks something like this, that's like, let's plan this week's meals and tell me what's going on this week. And then I will use voice to text. I was demoing this so you can see. I was saying like I'm using Whisperflow right now, which is a voice to text tool, and I need 4 meals this week. Tuesday I want one of my mom's recipes. Wednesday I want a South Asian dish. Thursday I want any sort of South Asian dish, and then Friday something that's Ethiopian. And it's gonna send that back. The agent step is gonna happen. Those search steps are gonna happen, and then I'm gonna get an email back that says, "You won the lottery, JK. Your meal plan is here." And sure enough, I get my different meals that I've requested, get an Ethiopian dish for Friday, and it says happy cooking. So it's even if it's not perfect, even if there's some days where I'm like, I don't actually want to make khichdi on Tuesday, I'm gonna pick another dish. Even just that baseline legwork that's been done for me, even if one or two of these recipes were suitable and it's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do these, I've saved a good chunk of time. And I think having somebody, especially as a mom, having somebody or something do something for you that you can then refine, as opposed to just doing things from scratch all the time, is a game changer.
Absolutely. I mean, and seeing this like beautiful output is so exciting. And I think like, you've highlighted so many micro time savers and macro time savers, right? Like just the voice to text, right? I feel like I just started doing voice to text regularly 6 months ago. And I was like, what have I been doing all this time? And when I type now, I'm like, this seems so efficient or inefficient. When I type
Yeah.
now, this seems so inefficient. But then also like macro time savers can happen when you do automations, like what you built out. And so this is just, it's so awesome to see. Thank you for sharing this example and
Of
thank you
course.
for sharing your story. So, this was such a great example of what it looks like to partner with AI thoughtfully, creatively, and intentionally for everyday parenting responsibilities. And that's exactly what Parent in the Loop is all about. So, for everyone listening, if you want to connect with Ruqaiya or learn more about ammi.ai, where can they find you?
So they can find me in a few places. You can find me on my website, ammi.ai, which gives you access to a free newsletter that comes out every 2 weeks with AI tips, tools, tidbits. So definitely check that out. We are on Instagram at ammi.ai, and I'm on LinkedIn, Ruqaiya Shipchandler Akbari. I would love to connect with you wherever you are. And if you're somewhere where you feel like you have a group or a team that would love to learn about AI in a workshop setting, let's definitely connect.
Awesome. Well, and also, I mean, you also seem to, have, I would say, like superpowers when it comes to the running part of this and creating automations. Do you ever do specific workshops focused on that, or even like coaching around that to help people build their own automations?
Yeah, both
Okay.
actually. So I do workshops from everything from like the crawl, the walk, and the run. Where a lot of my workshops, like a non-negotiable part of my workshop is like understanding what AI is, how it works, the
Oh, of
risks and
course, of course.
benefits, the literacy. And then I do coaching and mentoring as well. So one-on-one advisory, AI audits, AI solution development, all of that good stuff.
Awesome. All right. So definitely check out ammi.ai. The newsletter is fantastic. It's a wonderful resource. And for anybody who's listening, if this conversation resonated with you, here's how you can stay connected. You can subscribe to the Parent in the Loop podcast so you never miss a conversation. And if you want more resources, tips, and strategies for navigating AI as a parent, you can also head to likeamother.ai, which is where I have a community for parents that are looking for ways to partner with AI for more productive and present parenting. And AI literacy is the foundation for that as well. And similar to Ruqaiya, I've got workshops, I have free resources, I have a community, and we are all really in this together. I mean, I think that Ruqaiya, tell me if I'm, speaking out of turn here, but the moms that I've met who are on a similar mission, we all believe that AI literacy for families and raising these kids, our kids in the age of AI, is going to have to be a grassroots effort. So we were never meant to do this alone, and so if this resonates with you, we would love to connect.
Absolutely. Not, I totally agree. It's a very collaborative and welcoming and beautiful space to be.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This was so fun, and I can't wait to try my own automation on recipes and meal planning. Have a
Yay,
great
me too.
day. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.